Before I start, if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to the channel and drop your thoughts in the comments. I promise this story will stay with you. I still remember the text like it was a punch to the chest. We need to talk. I don't think this is working anymore. It came out of nowhere, but in hindsight, maybe it hadn't. For months, I felt invisible, like a ghost in my own home. She was there, but not really there. I tried to tell myself I was imagining things, that maybe stress at work or life's chaos was to blame. But deep down, a gnawing worry had taken root. It started small. Missed calls I shrugged off, she's busy, I told myself. Dinner conversations that felt like filling silence rather than connection. Little excuses that now sting. I have to work late, I'm tired, maybe tomorrow, just need some space. And I let it slide. I wanted to believe. I began noticing the subtle things. The phone that always faced down on the table. The quiet laughter she'd stifle when reading texts. The way she flinched if I walked into a room unexpectedly. I questioned myself endlessly. Was I imagining it? Was I overreacting? But when I'd ask, she'd smile softly and say, "You're just being paranoid, love." And I believed her until I couldn't. I remember the day I finally said it. I could no longer stomach the loneliness wrapped in familiarity. I packed a small bag and left, telling her, I need some space. I can't live like this anymore. I didn't know if it was anger, hurt, or exhaustion that made my hand shake as I zipped the suitcase. That night, I stayed in a friend's apartment, staring at the ceiling, replaying years of memories that suddenly felt like lies. The next morning, my phone buzzed. It was her, but the message wasn't what I expected. I messed up. I didn't mean to, but I need to tell you everything. My stomach dropped. I froze. Part of me wanted to ignore it, to keep walking, but another part, maybe the part that still loved her, needed to know. She confessed everything slowly, painfully. Months of secret meetings, messages I wasn't meant to see, little lies I hadn't noticed because I wanted to trust her. She cried through texts, over calls, over video, and I listened, silent, my heart breaking piece by piece, yet somehow understanding her fear and her mistakes. It's strange how betrayal doesn't always feel like an explosion. Often it's quieter, a constant hum of doubt and sadness that grows until it's unbearable. I remember the way she used to wake me with coffee in bed, the way she'd laugh at my terrible jokes, the small nightly rituals we shared. And every memory now felt tainted, each smile and photos feeling like a mask. But there was also clarity in that heartbreak. I realized I'd been ignoring my own needs for the sake of preserving a version of us that no longer existed. I had been silent for months, pretending, hoping she'd return to the person I knew. And in my silence, I gave her the freedom to drift away. When I finally went back, it was for closure, not reconciliation. We sat in the living room, sunlight filtering to the blinds, the room heavy with unspoken words. She tried to reach for my hand, but I pulled back, not out of malice, but self-preservation. "I'm sorry," she whispered. "I never wanted to hurt you. I was scared and stupid." "I know," I said, my voice calm but firm. "But sorry doesn't undo months pretending we were okay. I need to go, for me." She nodded, tears sliding down her cheeks. And just like that, it ended, not with shouting, not with drama, but with a quiet understanding of what we had lost and why it couldn't be repaired. I walked out of the apartment, the door clicking shut behind me, and felt something I hadn't in months, a weight lifting, painful but liberating. Driving away, I thought about all the moments that now made sense. The cold shoulders, the secretive smiles, the avoidance. And I forgave her, in my way, not for her, but for me. Forgiveness was the first step toward freedom. That day, I learned something harsh but necessary. Love can be blind, but heartbreak opens your eyes. It forces you to see yourself, your worth, and your boundaries. And sometimes the most loving act is letting go, even if your heart still aches. Now, weeks later, I've started rebuilding. Not just a life without her, but a life for me. I wake up, make coffee, laugh at jokes that only I think are funny, and slowly, I'm discovering the peace that comes from honesty, even if it comes too late. I'll never forget the lesson she taught me. About trust, about patience, about the quiet devastation of neglect. But I also won't forget this. The moment I said goodbye, I reclaimed my life. And that, more than anything, changed everything. If you've ever felt invisible, ignored, or betrayed, I want to hear your story. Drop it in the comments. Let's talk about the moments that hurt the most and how we found the strength to move forward.